Greetings and salutations, dudes and dudettes. Now that we got everything working perfectly, we got all the electrical stuff done, the thing just runs great, we can start focusing on the body. With winter approaching, I think I need to do these doors. Alright, these things are horrible. That ain't right. So the reason for your door sag is because your hinge pins are all worn out. Alright, actually the bushings most likely. So if you can look in there, you can see the hinge pins. Alright, let me wiggle that door for you, and you can see. Alright, that's all worn out. Now we hope it's just the bushings and not actually the hole itself, because that's going to require a little extra work, but this should not be too difficult of a job. Shouldn't have to put too much strain and effort into this. So the easiest and most widely accepted way to fix one of these doors and to take that sag out is to go ahead and grab a 2x4. Okay? What you want to do is put that right down there like so, wedge it in there. Okay? Then what you're going to do is swing that door open as wide as you can, and then with all of your might, I want you to take that 2x4 out and smack yourself in the head with it a couple times, because don't ever do that. Alright, I don't know who was telling people to do that, but this is a square body, you guys. Don't do that. You're going to totally mess things up. You're going to pucker your door all out. Yeah, you might get it looking straight, but you're messing things up. Don't do that. Alright, let's do it the right way. You ready? Alright, let me show you what else this door doesn't do. Okay? First of all, listen to that. Okay, now let's shut it. Ready? No, that's all we're going to get. Alright. That is just terrible. It's just, I'd say look at those body lines, but you really can't. But, you know, even a slam doesn't really shut it. I mean, you really gotta give that something to even get it to shut. Alright, so that is going to be a hinge pin issue, and look here. Alright, a little striker. Now that's all messed up. Now there's a couple tricks you can do to just replace this plastic with a piece of PEX tube. A lot of guys will do that in the quick. You know what? That's a hack that I won't even tell you not to do. That's fine and dandy. I myself purchased some new ones, so we're going to go ahead and swap those out. We're going to make this thing shut pinky easy. You're going to be able to shut this with your pinky when we're done. You can use a couple of these if you want. I'm just going to use one. If it goes off balance, who cares? But if you have some really nice paint and you don't want to scratch it, you might be a little more careful than I'm being. All right. Good enough. Okay, so with the door all nice and jacked up, we can go ahead and remove little bolts, and all we need to do that is a 9/16 of your choice, ratchet wrench or ratcheting wrench, whatever you like, and of course your rubber McHammerstein for complete lack of effort. Alright, I like to crack them loose first. All of them, make sure that I'm not going to have any struggles. No struggle there. I'm just going to take 2 out of 3 of these off and undo the third one almost all the way. Like a machine. loosen this guy up. Now we're just relying on everything to hold up for us here. I'm going to carefully remove these. Top one last. Alright, this bottom one out now. And now I'm going to take this last one out. And this is where you want to kind of control things. Grab a hold of your door. Don't rely solely on your jack. Just be careful. Don't go pinching yourself. Oh, and there it goeth. Alright. So that's being held up by my little engine jack there. I'm doing very little to control it. You can see it just popped off. There we go. Look at this, folks. No effort whatsoever. Work schmirk. Alrighty. Off we goeth. Biblically speaking. So looky here. Now we can clearly see our pins. Easy access. Alright, that bushing's completely gone. And what we hope is that the hole that the bushing goes in hasn't been too gouged up to the point that we're going to need to route that out. The kits usually come with a bushing for if your hole is okay, and then a bushing for if you need to route this out. So you should be good to go either way, but this is what we're looking at. Alright, so what I'm going to do, and that's both of them. Oh yeah, look at that. Yikes. That is just completely gone. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut this. And you can cut these with the cutting tool of your choice. I threw a little piece of protective metal up just so I don't burn anything inside. And off we go. So this one is really pressed in there good. I'm going to have to give that something. Alright, you can see I still have a little bit of a bushing in there. See if we can't tap that guy out of there. Like nothing. Alright. Don't want a mess now, do we? Alright, good. Good. And just a little cleanup down here. Just gotta make sure I do it right. Well, after a very light struggle with rusty pins, nothing that the Deep Creek couldn't fix, we have both of our hinges taken apart. Alright, so here is your box O door pins. And this particular one actually comes with everything you need for one door. If all went well, we should be able to just use these little brass bushings. So let's see how those fit. Alright, just going to put one on the top. Yeah, that feels good. Alright, I'm going to stick one on the bottom. should be able to at least get them started in there with your fingers. Give them a little love tap. They're just brass, you don't need to beat on them too bad. Try to get them in there nice and straight. And drop the next one in. Thumbs of steel. As far as we can. Pretty much almost all the way, but you may have a little bit tighter of a situation. Now we're going to go ahead and grab one of the hinge pieces, and let me show you something. Just poke that in there. Yeah, that doesn't feel too loose there. It doesn't feel bad, which is good. Okay, now these should fit really snug. All right, once you get your bushing in, so you should have to kind of work it on. All right, and if they don't fit snug, if they're too loose, you can take them, put it down on the ground, and just tap on the top a little bit, whatever, bend it down a little bit. Don't go too far, check it. If you bend too far, you can always just use a little bit of leverage and bend it right back, okay? But just move it just a little bit, only if you have to. Before you go putting it all together, grab a little grease, all right? Go ahead and put a little bit on the tip, put a little bit on the other end, okay? And you know what? There ain't no reason why you can't throw a little bit up here for things to ride on. A little bit down here. You want a nice quiet door, don't you? Okay. Should be good. All right, grab your perfectly fitting hinge. I'm going to go ahead and put that on with your little rollers down. And again, it should slide on with, should have to work it a little bit, just a little. There it goes, it's right on. Line everything up as close as possible. All right, and then just drop your pin in and let's get that thing through there. All right, and then a little tap-a-rooney. Couple tap-a-roonies. And then you're going to find out that it feels like it's in, but it's not. You're going to have to smack it a little bit more and get that thing flush. That's what I want to see, that grease shooting out of there. And with that, oh yeah, that is nice and firm. Okay, I mean that is, there's no noise except for the two little rollers hitting the spring, of course, but it's not moving up and down. There's no back and forth play in that. So, all right, there we go. Let's do the second one down here real quick. All right, again, we're just going to throw a little around the head there. Don't need a ton, it's just going to get compressed. A little around the tip. There you go. Yeah, that's good. It's good and stiff. Might have to still do a little bit of wiggling. Feel free to give it some little love taps to help it find its way home. There you go. It's real light. See, it's mostly doing its own thing. Alright, it's in the bottom nice. If I can hear it, there it goes. So you didn't really have to fight with it at all. Alright, it's not all the way in now, it's just bottomed, and now we're going to send it home. I don't know if I can use a bigger hammer. Alright, you got them all in there, finger tight, pretty easy. All by my lonesome. Right? I just ratchet them down. I got them in pretty far with just my fingers. Alright, you don't need to watch this, you get the idea. Alright, ratchet these down. Alright, door shuts. And actually you can tell where there was a line, you know, so that's good. Now see how it's doing this? If I don't give it a good something. Alright, that is going to be a striker issue, so let's fix that next. We're going to yank this one out, and we're going to chuck this one in. Alright, there's your little part number if you'd like. And that's just another Dorman item. And should be pretty easy. You can either grab this with like a vice grip or, I don't know, pipe wrench, or you can find the appropriate thing. Sometimes it's a star key, sometimes it's a, let's see, what's this one? You got these different ways of doing it. So get it off however you can get it off. You don't want to keep your hand on that. And no big deal if it falls, but it can be a pain in the ass if it goes down in the wrong spot back there. So just make sure you grab a hold back there, all right? And we're just going to pull that right off of there. There it is. Now remember, however many washes you had is how many you're going to want to keep. Matter of fact, you know, you can check it. All right, look at the way everything's lining up. You can peek right in there and see. Make sure that it's hitting right there on that plastic, okay? See that? So, with a little bit of grease in the proper spaces, you can hear that there's no noise on the door now as it rides on that spring. All right, everything's good to go. And as promised you guys, at the end of all this, should be able to take the old pinky poo, and that's it. All right, I'm not whipping this door from way back, just shutting it pinky. And if I had body lines, you'd see that they're lined up, but I don't. All right, but we're good to go, guys. All right, one door down. Let's do the other one. Now before we did the pins, when I had to slam my door real hard, this mirror would just flop in like this and I had to adjust it every single time. I mean, look at that. that's loose. So how do we solve that? Very simple situation. All right, so we're gonna wanna get the screw out of here. For some people, it's gonna be a star key. For others, it's gonna be a Phillips head. So whatever you have, it's just one little screw down here. Come on, you squeaky thing. That should just come off and you should be able to fold it right up out of the way. All right, there we go. All right, fold that forward. There we go. That's what I'm trying to do. All right, now you can fully see what's going on there. These two 10 millimeters are your huckleberry to tighten this up, if you're lucky. Yes, I did have some room to tighten that. It turned, as did that. A little more. Yeah, that feels better. You know, you got to still be able to adjust. All right, put this thing back down. Okay, get your little rubber grommet there. That's going to be a pain in the butt. I was already halfway out. Come on now. Monkeying around on me. Make sure it's in your gasket nice. A little screw back up in there. You don't have to crank that down, just tighten it down. Hopefully your grommet didn't come out like mine did, but it shouldn't be too big a deal. All right, there we go. Nice and stiff. Once I adjust that, that shouldn't go anywhere. And I'm gonna do the other side. See this here? Now if you find that you tighten these up and it still just isn't good enough, what you're going to want to do is pop these three out, pop this out, take it apart, and you're going to find this basically wrapped in like a bicycle tube. Okay, you could, it's not really, but that would work. All right, so you get yourself a new rubber coating to put around that and put it back together, and then you'll be back in business. But this tightened up, so good to go, easy as can be. Oh yeah, that's what I want to hear. And adjust accordingly. So there you have it, folks. We have doors that open quietly, close gently. Our lines are nice and straight. I mean, as straight as they can be for this beater, right? We have mirrors that are nice and tight and will adjust only when we want to adjust them, and everything's good. That's both doors. And so with that, until next time, I'm out of here.